Hello, my name is Bao, and today I'm going to tell you about Dr. King's Memorial. Introduction. Each year, people of all ages visit the memorial that honors Dr. Martin King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Washington, D.C. The large sculpture of Dr. King and some of his famous works inspire visitors. Who was Dr. King, and why do we remember him? Dr. King was a civil rights leader. He worked throughout his lifetime for equal rights for people. The South. Dr. King grew up in Georgia in the 1930s. During his childhood in the South, he faced racism and laws that are unfair to black people. Laws in the U.S. kept black people and white people segregated or separate from one another. Not all states followed these laws. However, many states in the South enforced them. In the South, black people and white people were not allowed to marry each other. Black children could not attend the same school as the white ones. Black people had to use different drinking fountains from white people. Black people had to sit at the backs of the bus. The front that were only reserved for white. Black people were not allowed to ride in the same railroad cars as the whites. Black people and white people had to use different public restrooms. The law said that everything would be separate but equal. However, many facilities where black people were not as nicely or well kept as those for whites. Dr. King's work. Dr. King wanted the unfair laws to change and for all races to be treated equally under the law. His dream was that Americans would come together as one people without racism. He gave many speeches and spoke with many people about how to change the laws. Dr. King wanted to use peaceful or non-violent ways to make changes. He said there was already too much hate in this world to use violence and to fight racism. Dr. King and the other leaders protested the unfair laws by refusing to follow them. For example, many black people held sit-ins, during which they sat out waiting with counters in restaurants, refused to move, and some people, including Dr. King, were arrested. Dr. King's supporters marched with many people as another non-violent way to protest racism and segregated laws. They hoped to make people, especially lawmakers, realize that the unfair laws should be changed. After marching in Washington, D.C., Dr. King delivered his famous "I Had a Dream" speech at the Lincoln Memorial in 1963. He affected many people with his powerful words. New laws. Because of the work of Dr. King and the others, governor changed the segregation law in 1964. The new laws are fairer. It's now against the law to treat some people better than the others because of their race. Black children and white children can go to the same school. People can sit where they want in buses and trains and eat in restaurants. The same water fountains and restrooms can be used by anyone, no matter their race. Dr. King's dream. Dr. King wanted all people to be free, and he wanted laws that were fair to everyone. He dreamed that people of every race would get along. Today, the laws are fair, but there's still work to be done. When people visit his memorial, they remember Dr. King's dream of fair laws and free people. Carry on this work. Goodbye.